Okay, so here we are. I just started by screenshotting my results on Stable Diffusion just to kind of show you my journey. These are the ones that I decided were like close enough to share with you all. There's like about 100 iterations. Let's look through them. So I first just started trying to describe the image to Stable Diffusion. And you can see that really quickly, like it got the woman with an umbrella and a raincoat in the rain at night and sepia tone. It got all those things pretty good. It's just when it started trying to place the woman in a physical space with the Volkswagen Bug that things started to get pretty wonky. So here we go. We're doing okay with the woman holding an umbrella and a raincoat. Here, even we're getting like the bits of a bug. This woman's umbrella and raincoat are starting to like meld into one. Here we go. The prompts got cropped in the screenshots, but you can see that I'm starting with like trying to orient or trying to like describe the woman first and then place the beetle in there. This is actually not bad here. This image up here is actually not terribly far from the original, but the lights aren't on. She's not really silhouetted by the car, and in this case, she's not really evidently in the rain as much as is here. This is just kind of like a super awesome image. That's like for an ad campaign, but it's not the image I was going for. This is actually not too bad here. It's not an exact replication, but it's pretty interesting. This is an amazingly good face for Stable Diffusion, but it's not the image I was looking for. And you'll see that I'm just like running iterations, changing slight words here and there, but there's a lot of things that carry over. I think this image is pretty good. Like she's silhouetted by something, the rain is evident, the bug unfortunately does not have its lights on and it's not silhouetting her, but it's not bad. We get some strange, like here's a woman getting silhouetted by it looks like car lights, but we're not getting the umbrella. This is a pretty solid silhouette, but the car isn't evident. This is that lady again, she's back. This is that one lady in the rain, but now the car is kind of gone. So it's pretty interesting to see how Stable Diffusion like decides to reuse certain elements. It must be an influence of its source material, I guess. These bugs look fantastic. Their lights are not on. And, sometimes we just like completely lose the woman. Like this, these 4 images were generated by the same prompt. Yeah. I feel like just having the 2 subjects, like the woman and the car, was really difficult for a Stable Diffusion. And then sometimes like it'll ping me with an unsafe content message, which is really interesting since like one prompt generated like the same images. But yeah, again, you'll see like we either get the car or the woman, but it's tougher to get both. This is getting kind of close. The car's lights don't seem like they're on. There's light kind of coming out of the car. Here we go. Now I'm like trying to describe the car and how it's related to the woman more, like the VW Beetle headlights are silhouetting the woman. This is just super creepy. I don't know what's going on here. It's just so good. Yeah. So just cruising through. I might speed things up a little bit. Here I started playing with the advanced options a little bit. Turning the guidance scale up, I thought maybe I was being a little bit too loose, so like wanted to kind of force, like, look, I need the woman and the bug. So turning the guidance scale up made things like a little bit more surreal and painterly. So it was the wrong direction I wanted to go in. I turned the guidance scale back down. We got closer to where we wanted to be, but again, still in the like woman plus bug. So just kind of like middling these variables. I think like actually the default setting where they show up on are actually the best. Seed way up, guidance scale way up, and it's like pretty far from what we actually want. This bug is fantastically in the rain, but there's no woman and the lights are off. These women are in the rain, but there's no bug. Yeah. And then I just kind of decided to, like, you know what, forget about, like, I really just kind of want to focus on the car for a second. So all these, it kind of cracks me up because there's no woman in the rain. It's just the bug, and the lights are not on. So I think there's something about the Stable Diffusion that didn't understand the whole bit about, like, the headlights being turned on. I think that, like, was kind of a complex idea. You know, like, what does on mean? Like, what do you mean by lights? Like, what kind of light? Where's the light generated? Where is it going to? So then I started just, like, you know, just the headlights. Let's focus on the headlights. So this is kind of interesting. Like, we're getting really close with, like, the light is on now. But the umbrella is just kind of, I don't know what's going on here. Again, some of these are pretty fantastic images. Like, this is like a pretty epic for like a ad campaign, some sort of fashion campaign. This image is great for the umbrella, the woman, the rain, and being silhouetted by what could be car lights, but there's, you know, the car just isn't as evident as I wanted it to be. I like saying, like, headlights turned on, and it's like, is this what you mean? This is just, again, a beautiful image. I feel like I've seen this on Instagram a ton. AI generating Instagram posts, but there's no car. It looks like light is coming, you know, from in front of the woman, but also from, like, inside the umbrella down onto the woman. Oh yeah, you can see I'm getting frustrated. I'm like, all right, forget about the woman. Let's just see if we can get lights turned on the Volkswagen Bug. Sometimes I call it VW Bug. Sometimes I call it VW Beetle. Sometimes I give it a date to try to, like, push the AI to have, like, a certain vintage look. This one I just left the date off. This one I did the exact date that the car should be. This is bizarre. The woman is, like, sinking into the street. This is, like, so weird. I just, you know, we lost so much. I tried different phrasing. Completely lost the woman on this one, except for maybe there's, like, a woman's face on the car seat. It's not bad. Text is pretty epic still. So, like, license plate's quite cryptic. Still, again, like, the only semblance of a woman is here, kind of. And so, like, I don't, you know, like, we really drifted when I don't specifically tell the AI, like, where I want the woman to be. This one, like, the headlights shine on a woman with umbrella. Like, it just, you know, didn't know. We have the lights on now, which is kind of a huge step, but still, like, not physically orienting the subjects to where I want them to be. This, like, woman growing out of the top of the car, it's terrifying. This is pretty spectacular. This is a good assignment to come onto right after Halloween. Getting some interesting orientation things here. I decided to spin it around. Rainy nighttime sepia photograph. Oh yeah, this is pretty epic. You know, 1971 VW Bug behind woman holding umbrella. So, like, I don't know how it decided that. And then you see some sort of similar responses popping up sometimes. This is wild that, like, the woman is gone, but the umbrella is still there. Getting, you know, similar returns on that. Kind of back to the same, like, light coming from inside the umbrella. Back to, like, difficulty orienting the woman and the car. This is interesting, like, you know, what is behind, what is next to. Oh yeah, I started saying, like, next to woman, but, like, the scale is pretty rough on both of these here. This is actually really close. The person is facing the wrong way. The rain isn't as evident as I would like it to be, but that's pretty interesting. A lot of these getting like really close but not quite landing, and usually falling apart with like the orientation of the subjects. Oh yeah, here I think it said like the back of a woman wearing a raincoat. Rainy nighttime sepia photograph of the back of a woman wearing raincoat, holding umbrella. I don't know why like suddenly two women showed up. This character for some reason is like an exhibitionist, or at least holding the raincoat open for some reason. Yeah, lots of like really close and kind of really interesting images, just not exactly getting the results that I want. So it's really interesting working on something with like a specific outcome in mind versus working on something and being a little bit more loose and open on whatever outcome is returned. It's a pretty ghostly character back here. Oh, I think at some point, like I got rid of like sepia tone or black and white just to see what that would do. This is really interesting. This is getting pretty close here. I feel like the umbrella is like a little bit low, like the person got sawed in half or something. Oh yeah, I mean just trying to clarify, like the VW Beetle is parked behind her in the rain or in the street. Just to like try to help Stable Diffusion understand what I wanted with the physical orientation. Woman standing by the front of, and you can see like every now and then it'll generate like the Getty Images tag because it learned a lot from Getty Images. Randomly getting like unsafe content pings. Here we lost the person's head. Like sort of drifting further away. Lady holding umbrella. Oh, I switched woman to lady to see if that would help. Switch back to woman. Lady. Yeah, you can see like its influence, like it's learned a lot from like fashion photography. You know, that kind of like fashion or marketing, like those kind of images populate the internet. I really like the amount of atmosphere and haze in these two. These are getting like pretty close, just as far as sort of like the texture of the original photograph. I love when like multiple characters show up. Lady holding an umbrella is silhouetted by 1971 Volkswagen Beetle car lights in the rain. Turn the guidance way down, but the seed kind of up higher, and things got a little wacky. Oh yeah, you can see I returned to trying to simplify photograph of a woman standing in front of a Volkswagen Beetle. And then I added the umbrella, you know, trying to like build the prompt piece by piece to see where the miscommunication with the AI engine was happening. You know, maybe starting with like what we want the medium to be first, a sepia photograph of a standing woman with umbrella facing car lights. That didn't work out so well. Switching words like silhouetted by car lights, silhouetted in car lights. This actually is pretty dang good. So all these, I just kind of slightly change the prompt and then run it and see like if that got me in the right direction. This just cracked me up. That's so terrifying. Nightmare fuel. This is real close. The car is kind of in the wrong spot, but I love the texture of the rain. I like the quality of light. I like the amount of detail in the subject. I think the umbrella is sort of in the wrong spot. It's like the car itself is holding an oversized umbrella. I love how like 3 out of the 4 images will have a car, like a really specific reference to the car, and then one is just like, nope. I feel like if I get this image down here with this image of the car combined somehow, that would be right what I want. Oh yeah, I zoomed up on that. Like we have like the Grim Reaper suddenly. I love how the size and shape of the umbrella changes randomly. Like that umbrella seems about right, but then like it's like an umbrella hat or something. The extra end of the umbrella growing out of the umbrella. Yeah, you can see this one. The guidance scale is just a little bit higher than the default. The seed is also higher. It's not really returning better results. I feel like this image up here was headed in the right direction, but then the AI only rendered out like the, knees down of the subject. I'm not sure what happened with this square. I love how high fashion these are all kind of returning, and I think it's because I'm saying sepia photograph. Oh yeah, I started to get a little bit more specific with the woman, like woman's back, because I wanted the woman, facing away from the virtual camera, as it were, or using phrases, lady turned away. This is real close. Okay, so those are all the ones that I ran through. I think that was like 100 different iterations. And then these are my favorites. I think these are the ones that turned out closest to what I was looking for, trying to recreate that specific image. This is pretty dang close, just a few issues, like the headlights are kind of funky, and then the subjects aren't physically oriented exactly how I wanted them. And then I think I finally gave up. I think this is the closest I got, was this image here with the text prompt: sepia photograph of a woman's back with an umbrella standing in front of car lights on a VW Beetle in the rain. And that got me to this. And then I was like, all right, that's as close as I can get. So yeah, you can see that it's one, super interesting to engage with AI image generators, and then 2, like it's amazing the range of imagery that you can generate really quickly from scratch, and that going in with something extremely specific in mind ahead of time will be a more frustrating exercise than being like perhaps a little bit more open. And if you look at the Karen Chang video, it seems like she did like thousands of iterations to finally arrive at an image that she wanted. But it's pretty exciting. I think this is gonna, obviously revolutionize photography and image making. So yeah,